sure if he came back yet on that. I think that's supposed to be scheduled too next month. I remember.
All right. I just started recording this for Peg. Peg, I'm sorry. This is Greg. I started recording this later than what I wanted. But you'll get the gist of some things. You're all being recorded, so say nothing nasty about any of our neighbors.
I know.
Especially Peg. You'll probably be listening to this.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go on down to the big thing.
Yeah.
Bustamante engineer's full risk evaluation proposal. I don't think he, if I misunderstood, looking for the proposal, I'll find it.
Here's what they're going to do.
Okay, I got it.
I put it up there on the screen.
Yeah.
Only one pipe was videotaped. Of course, what they want to do is subcontract the services of a videographer, evaluate the cause of the collapse and the condition of all four, getting request relevant engineering documentation and give us a report, and then meet with us. 10,500.
All right. First of all, there was a report from Zoom. I don't know if that was after this, the date of this. This is dated. This is the 14th, September 14th. I don't remember what day Zoom was out here, but you know, they could only do. He did refer to that. But he said they were only one video, and then the review was made. Well, we didn't see that, but I guess it just said basically what he has there. It says only one pipe was videotaped.
Well, this would be a continuation of that, Bill. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it sounds like if they couldn't do it, you know, somebody's gonna have to dig out the pipe first.
Well, that's what they said. Point one. That they're going to subcontract to perform 2,000 of the 10,500. 2,000 of it will go to site excavation work, and 1,500 to provide videographic.
What about the fee for the work they did? How much is that, and is that included in the 10,000? That was my question.
Yeah, well, we could ask how much of the first fee is included in this.
Well, I still have my first question is who's responsible for those pipes? And Greg, I think I talked to you, and I know I talked to Peggy, that they were probably put in by the farmer, not the developer. They were probably under the dirt road, would be my guess back, who knows, maybe 40 years ago. But that question of if the township put those ponds in, they are not drainage ponds. They are decorative ponds, and obviously don't help control the stormwater.
Yep.
So
who's
responsible?
Did you see my emails to Anthony about that?
Yes.
Yeah, because he had answered. He said, because I said, read what my question was. So if Upper Gwinnett Township is the owner of the basins, are they responsible to control the flow of water downstream? And his answer was yes. The most important items are to confirm ownership of the Newberry 1 detention basins and the drain pipes.
Right.
It appears that the retention belongs to Upper Gwinnett Township, who also would also be responsible for the flow of stormwater in upstream and down and out downstream of the structure. I am hoping that the underground drainage pipe are considered to be part of that same basin, which would make them the property of the municipality. So at very least, if they're responsible for the flow of water, well, then they are kind of indirectly responsible for the damage caused to it, whether it's ours or theirs, I would think.
Okay, so when do we get an answer to that, and who is it that has to answer for it?
Well, I think that's where we get into another email from somebody named Sandra, who I believe is the Sandra.
Well,
I mean, can we ask for, I mean, the engineer that was out here, he said the assistant town manager or town manager was his babysitter. Has he gotten anywhere with that to get any information from her as to?
that's why Anthony sent us that email chain.
Yeah, it says that this was a copy to Greg Bustamante from Megan Weaver. It says, "Hi, Greg, I hope you're doing well. Sandra has forwarded me your email, and I apologize for our delay in getting back to you. If you would complete the right to know, which is a form, I will certainly look for those files for you. I have the link to our RTK form here.
Oh, I missed that.
After you have completed the form, you can just send it to this right to know, care of Upper Gwinnett, and CC me on the email. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am happy to help." So he's going through all the red tape, just trying to get copies of the plots and plans and whatever, I suppose. And that email was dated September 18th to Greg.
So are we, and my second question was, are we safe for our community to continue to use this road as we wait for these answers? I'm not sure that, and again, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. I'm not sure I want to spend $10,000 because if it belongs to the Upper Gwinnett Township, we wouldn't get it back.
I know, that's my thoughts too.
Well, I'm of the opinion, to answer Pat's question, we need to do this study. And I would recommend doing it.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, and then build a township. We could be sitting around here for months.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we safe? The safety of our community has to come first. And my fear is that if we don't move forward, we could be looking at, a tragedy. I mean, if it's the one.
Your question is what leads me to agree that we need to do it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is that I don't know the answers to these things. So, who can tell us, would it be safe? And that's, like I say, that's my biggest thing. I don't need to use the road. I don't need to use Farm Lane. I can walk to the mailbox if I have to. And if I want to go see somebody, I can do that. That's the only time I go down Farm Lane. But, the majority of residents use Farm Lane. So,
Along with all the delivery trucks and everything else that comes down here.
well, that's it. You're right, Rick. I mean, the delivery trucks, the trash trucks. I mean, we just have constant movement here with heavy equipment. So,
With winter coming, is it now going to be an issue with water rushing underneath and then you get a hard freeze? Is that now going to affect the roadway?
yeah, I think Greg has answered. I think you have to do it in order to say, hey, is it safe? Because if it's not safe, then we immediately have to take action. So,
Sure.
But we won't know that until somebody does a study, and God knows waiting for the township to do anything.
Yep.
Well, right now for the township, I mean, we're in a.
Oh, we have had Greg Bustamante has done his study already as much as he can do. And not going to learn anything more by those pipes. If there's a danger to the road, it's going to be far more serious than just the pipe. they would have to collapse completely, I would think. And I think we should get an engineer's opinion on that first, whether or not it's severe enough that we should close the road. First of all, if we do close the road, we would have to close it all the way over to the fence on their side, because that's the entire length of those pipes. So there'd be no walking either on either side, as far as I would be concerned.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, so you'd have to drive, to get your mail. There'd be no. I mean, you'd have to. What do you think?
well, Greg would just all be waving by to you every day as we go by.
Right. And then our neighbor might block the street off from us, and so we might all be landlocked here.
Great.
Our neighbor might put up a toll booth.
As a little, hey Greg, as an aside, is that a private street for that guy himself?
As far as I know, it is.
Was it always that way, or was it until we
I
closed?
think it always was that way.
Why would it have been a private street? Because it dead ended into a.
It dead ended there.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Is it always?
He lives in Upper Gwynedd Township, believe it or not. He doesn't live in North Wales.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know. Wow.
That little block of street is Upper Gwynedd Township. They don't take care of, nobody takes care of his trash, snow plowing, anything. He's responsible for everything. It's like a private driveway into his house.
Oh, okay.
That's what blew my mind. He's Upper Gwynedd Township. I had told him that I would support him moving toward it being turned over to Upper Gwynedd Township. He's never done anything with that.
To North Wales, you mean?
No, to Upper Gwynedd. I mean, he's in Upper Gwynedd Township. Really weird.
Yeah.
He's tied into us more than North Wales.
Is that true of 11th Street there too, then?
11th Street's North Wales.
Okay, because that's pretty beat up street too. I don't see anybody doing any kind of road work there. No, I'm just curious. Anyway.
Okay. I mean, I guess what we need to make a decision on is, do we move forward with this engineering report clarifying the amount of money that's been spent to date, if that's included, or not, or wait for the township?
No, we should proceed with the study.
Because they'll be evaluating the cause of the collapse. And part of that is what might bring into liability all the other parties. Newberry Township.
Okay. Well, I'm going to agree with it because, again, this is the safety factor that I've been concerned about. And I think if there are whatever number, just check with Peggy and see how she wants to vote before you make that decision.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Because this is, I mean, $10,000 is a lot of money, and we thought we were all nice and clean, and we have such a good reserve. I mean, really, it's a wonderful reserve for this community, but it could easily get wiped out with this.
Well, right now it's how many vote for it?
I will vote for it because of the safety, because I want to know if it's safe for people to be driving down there.
I'll vote for it too.
And you're saying, Pat, unless Peg does.
My question is, how are they going to evaluate anything unless the pipes were cleaned out first?
Well, isn't that part of what they're doing?
Yes.
I mean, part of this, the way I read this is they're going to hire someone to excavate the pipes or excavate site excavation work.
There's $2,000 site excavation and $1,500 to provide videographic services.
Right. So, I mean, that is what has to be done because the thing is, it would be nice to say, oh, just hire somebody to fix it, but no one is going to fix something unless they know what they're going to be facing.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they're gonna buried end of the pipes be evacuated. To remove the sediment. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Okay,
All right.
so you think we should just approach this as if it's our responsibility, and then if any kind of a miracle happens, we can get the township to pay for it?
Well, no, I mean, I liked Greg's idea. We do it, and then, we bill the township when we find out, that they're responsible.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we can afford to wait. I would like to say, well, let's just wait and see when we find out who owns it. That's my initial response. But, in the letter, Bustamante says, he's not sure. He basically says he doesn't think the road is that safe. So the thing is, it's a gamble. If we don't do it right away and someone gets hurt,
Who's going to be sued?
we're gonna
We're going to be sued.
community is going to be sued, and it's going to be bad.
Right.
So I mean, especially bad enough if it's a resident, but God forbid it's one of these, vendors who's in and out of here all the time. That could be even worse.
Right.
So that's the part. Like I said, my big thing is this safety thing, and I would like to say no, let's wait, but I guess I'm on the cautious side. I always like to stay in the middle of the road because there's two sides to every story. But in this case, I'm not sure we can. And that Peggy and I had talked about this, and that was my initial response was I'd rather not spend it, but that but is very big. So.
Well, to your question, I think we need to do it. So.
Okay, I would feel better if we had an actual recommendation from Greg, but because we're going to get a lot of flack from this, because we're going to interrupt the mail, and they'll have to all be using the, like you said, all the service people, whoever wants to come in here. They don't even know, how to get to the other end of the community. So, okay. All right, then.
Well, wait a minute. You're saying we have to close the road to do the work?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Well, if they're going to start digging under the thing and they're not sure about the condition of it now, I don't know how they could not at least close it while they're working under it. I don't know. That's why I want the engineer to tell us, okay, what's his recommendation and what would be involved with the excavation. If that's the first thing they want to do. Of course, he has to subcontract that out. I guess we have to get that information from the person they're going to subcontract it to.
Well, that's a valid point, Bill. I mean, that's very valid. Can Greg not answer that? Have we asked him that question?
I don't think so. I think we just expressed the same concern that he said, that the possibility.
What's the
I
question?
would say, he does say,
If they have to close the road, does that mean we're not going to approve this suggestion?
No, I'm asking whether or not Greg, what's Greg's opinion? I mean, he's written this. This is his opinion. I think this letter is his opinion. I don't think he's going to say anything different, and that might just be, something else. Because who is going to talk to the gentleman on Church Street? And that you've got to get that response straightened out. I mean, if he said, what happens if he says no? I mean, we have to get it done regardless. It has to be fixed. And at some point, now or later, the road's going to be closed.
By the way, if the road gets closed, how's the trash people going to get their trash? They're going to do JFK and Sweetheart, pull back out, go all the way around and come in the back entrance. Somehow I think they're not going to be happy doing that.
That's
What difference does it make if they go in this community or the next one? I mean, it really doesn't.
You know, the same thing with delivery people. They find out they can't come down farm. I don't know what kind of.
Delivery people have the same problem already. I see tons of them pulling up on Church Street and having to turn around.
All right.
There's a lot that come down Church, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Trust me, if they want to make their money, they'll come.
I
They'll
guess.
find. I mean, that's just a personal observation. There's nothing factual about that, Rick.
I know. I'm just trying to say what if are we going to run into different stuff?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's all.
I agree. Well, I think we have to go forward, and whatever's going to happen. But I do think somebody has to approach and maybe ask Greg what we're looking at. Okay, they're going to excavate. How many days is that going to require to be closed? And then Greg, you seem to have the connection with this gentleman. You've made the peace.
I do. Bill, I do agree with you. I think maybe you should ask when we give our approval of this, try to find out what it's going to entail. Is the street going to be closed and how long and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because that's.
I mean, the two of you and Peggy are going to be the ones that are affected as far as normal day to day, except like you said, Rick, for the mail, we'll have to go around to get the mail. And
what would be worth checking with the township on is that strip of Church Street that is in Gwca Township. You know, it might be good to verify, and as far as I know, the guy's the ownership of that. And
no, that was some question I'm going to pose to Anthony too, to have him contact the township and find out what laws govern that. I mean, if we have no access to our community, he may not be able to prevent us. I don't think he would anyway, to tell you the truth. I mean, I can't believe he's going to say, no, I'm going to put a barrier out here and nobody's going to allow past my house.
With previous leadership of our board has been less than tactful with him.
What? What?
And he's been offended a few times by.
That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking.
This is going back when this development started.
Don't we take care of the snow situation on his?
Yeah, we do.
Lot?
Yeah, we do.
now we do. Now we do.
Yeah, but we've been doing it for at least a year or two, right? Or 2 years.
That's what I mean.
And we have better relations with him, right?
We've been good neighbors. He's a nice guy. He and his wife are nice people. So
Yeah, they are. I bet them. I was surprised there's only those two living there in that big house.
Yeah.
Apparently never had children or whatever. But anyway, they were very friendly, very talkative. Anyway, yeah, I don't think we would have any problem with them.
want me to bring up the audit?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So we're all in agreement, right? On the
Yeah.
other.
All right, I'm going to send. I'll
But
send
double check with Peggy just to run the past her, right? Just so
Right.
she knows.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm going to send an email to Anthony and have him contact the township to see if there's any problem with us using the Church Road as our entranceway, if we would have to close our farm lane.
Okay.
And also to find out if Greg would give us a definite opinion as to whether that road should be closed or not.
Yeah.
You know, from an engineer's point of view, what his feelings are.
Excellent. Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right, I put the audited numbers up there, and I think it's one of the big things in 2019. We had almost $5,000 of income that we weren't expecting. We didn't increase. Part of it was going to Anthony and him being a little more generous with the resale certificates. And so we get resale certificate income. And then we did real well with the miscellaneous income. That's from the Redner tapes and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that.
I'll say that was a lot.
Yeah. And so the resale certificate expense goes up, but that's offset by the revenue. In 2019, we were pretty on. The landscape maintenance has been going up. That's why we increased that in the budget. And snow removal. But in 2019, we didn't have to pay insurance. So that's a big part of the operating expense.
Right.
Can I ask a question? Why is the snow removal $2,000 higher than the budget when we had no snow removal?
That was 2019, Bill. That's going back to January of.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I got you. That's right. Okay.
Now it was pretty good in December of that, but it was.
I forgot. We go all the way back to the previous winter. All right, that's fine. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
All right.
And I don't see anything else there. We probably have been budgeting high for sewer because we don't know what that is. So when we went into 2019, we had a fund balance of 151,000. We added 42,000 to that, but we only had reserve expenditures of 21,000 last year, and our net operating was 98. So we ended the year with 181,000. We ended the year $30,000 more than the beginning. So that's a pretty healthy funded balance, I think, for us. So if we're spending a little more this year, I don't think it's going to be a major, even that additional 10 grand for the study.
Did you budget for the rest of the clubhouse windows yet for 2020, or is that going to be rolling over to 2021?
Which one, Bill?
The windows they haven't replaced in the clubhouse?
That was in that's in 2020. That was in that first spreadsheet I showed you.
Okay.
Right.
I think we've already paid those.
I hope we haven't paid for the windows that aren't installed.
No, I'm talking about the ones that not the big ones. They did those. We paid, but there's a whole bunch of smaller ones, like 24.
I think we have a deposit down, Pat.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
So when are we going to get hit with that?
I think they're just gonna put them in as soon as they come. I think they're already paid for.
I thought we only paid a deposit.
Bill, maybe we could double check that, or I'll double check with Anthony on any financial stuff. All right.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you tell me you actually got the final audit from the auditor, or you have to sign off on it? Or
I signed off, Anthony. We got the draft audit. I think I was the only one that had questions on it.
oh, okay.
And I put we got that a couple months ago, or about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a question about how they were capturing reserve expenses. And they went back and cleaned that up. I'll send the draft. And they cleaned up. Here's the final replacement expenditures from that year, which was pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
we had drain repairs and clubhouse shed and appliances and the water heater. So,
Right. I think we're pretty well caught up on the clubhouse now, except for those windows.
right.
Nothing else I think we have to do.
Well, we did the doors.
Well, I think we're probably good for another 25 years when
Yep,
probably
that's
none
it.
of us will be
That's it.
here.
New kitchen, new floor, new doors, new windows, new heater and air conditioner. I don't know what else is left.
I'll get working on the budget. We should probably talk about that at the end of October.
Is that the 2021 proposed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. With the audit, we'll just go into that fall general virtual meeting. You talked about a little bit yesterday. How you
Yeah,
want
I sent a note. I mentioned to, if I mentioned it to Bill, I mentioned it to Bill that we could do a Zoom meeting like this for the community. And like that meeting we have with the budget in our December meeting or end of November. Remember, we have, how we have the budget meeting, and,
Right.
and we could do that same meeting virtually like this. I could send a link out to everyone in the community, and anyone in the community can get on for a community meeting.
They don't have to have the Zoom app loaded on their computer?
They would have to, that's easy to do. All they have to do.
Okay, so people have to understand that. That's fine. All right.
Whenever what happens, Rick, if you don't have the Zoom app, if you click on the link, they tell you to download the app, and then you can get it.
That's fine. Should let everybody know up in advance.
And
Okay.
what I could do is we could record the meeting and save it in YouTube, and anyone in the community who wanted to look at the meeting could go to YouTube.
Oh, that's okay. That's great.
So we could put up there, Bill's report, and I could do all the financial stuff, and we could talk about anything else we want to talk about.
Excellent.
We could do questions and answers.
Sure.
I mean, look, how many people do we normally get at a meeting? 18, 20, 40 all told, if you do, not
Yeah.
even that many when you do 2 meetings.
On
So,
the 2 meetings, Pat, so it's probably about 40 people, maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
and some come twice.
They do.
Some come to both because they don't want to miss anything. They're afraid they'll miss something. So,
Talking about them.
Well, if you're going to tape it, we would probably only have to have one meeting then. I don't think you.
oh yeah,
That's
absolutely, definitely. Okay, that works.
all right.
I'd like the idea.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Give it a try. Now, the fall Grapevine newsletter, you think you're in a position to be able to put something out?
Pat, you're the editor. What do you think?
That's what yeah.
Hey, I think since with Greg did such a great job, we can cut and paste and throw some things in there. We can put some of the community notices. I think we should put the newest directory. I'll certainly do something for the ladies club, and we'll, maybe do some parks things for where people can go, as the weather changes, but you can still go hike. And Peggy Hamilton has just been a wealth of information for hiking and places to go. And I've been to one of the parks for family picnics, and there's just lots of places you can go and still be safe, for people that don't want to go, into a restaurant, into a closed environment. So
Yeah,
we can do.
I think now that it's done, and we talked to May and Pat, you talk about any editorial things, we can put it together pretty quickly. The hardest thing
Okay.
is the ads together, and May has all the contacts out there. We can go after them again.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Yes, and I'm happy. Yeah, she's in fact, she stopped here yesterday. And while I'm here, guys, does anybody know an electrician? I need an electrician, and Mr. Ziegler is not available. He's ill.
No.
So
What's his name? Do the handiwork?
Mr. Ziegler is an electrician. He's a licensed electrician. He advertised, and I wanted to use him. But when I called, he has a voicemail message that he's out of commission for about a month due to health problems.
What about our Irish friend?
He doesn't do electricity. He does plumbing.
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
I was-
he'll replace a light switch, but you want
yeah,
electric, I wouldn't.
I would not use anybody that's not licensed for electrician.
Electrical.
Probably not.
Plumbing's one thing, electrical's a different one.
Yes. So if anybody knows anybody, please let me know.
Okay. You check the bulletin board in the clubhouse, see if anybody posts. what?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Any other business, anything we didn't talk about?
They're going full tilt, Boogie. They're going full tilt behind us now, boy. Holy cow. They're filling in the pond.
Good.
Good.
The back third is where they're filled in. That's where houses are going to be. So,
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna put two right up against our clubhouse, huh?
yeah.
Or the back doors anyway. Did you notice where they have that new tubing, whatever,
Yes.
You think that's where the fencing will not?
Yes. But then now it's getting a clearer picture of what they're going to do. That they're going to put a fence around that. So if that's the case, then I don't need a fence behind my house.
No, especially if they do a little landscaping.
That's what they told us, Bill, way back. So it looks like it's coming to pass.